this is going to be a quick ass video on how to make your bulbs work if you ordered the wrong ones for the Ford Focus. The Ford Focus has an H7 bulb on these aftermarket lights, and the bulbs I ordered were H1s. So for these aftermarket lights that have the projector, they come with the H7s, which has these two prongs, and the ones I ordered has these H1s with the one prong. The H7s has the negative and positive right on the bottom of the thing. The H1s has the positive here and the base here, which it uses the base as the grounding point to make it work. So I'm going to remove this headlight and show you how to make this work in a plug that requires this. So you drop your H1 bulb in the fucking engine bay. Step one.
Okay.
All right, and we're back with the bulb. So I'm going to remove this headlight, which comes with these two screws, which on mine there's one on each that ended up stripping, so I had to put my own thing. So you got the star here. I don't remember if I put a bolt underneath this or not. We'll find out when it drops onto the abyss.
Yeah, I think it should cover it. Is the other thing still in here?
You need somewhere. It's part of the abyss. It's in there. It's holding, I guess.
That's good.
All right, so remove your headlight. So the one we're working with is this outer one, which has the plug for the H7. This is what we're working with right here. So keep this bulb aside. The way we're gonna make this work is I'm gonna put it like this, sideways, which is like this. So it's not gonna be held on because this thing is not gonna grip the whole thing. So you gotta pinch the middle here, and then if you leave that like that, it's gonna leave it loose. So what I did on the other side is I pushed this underneath the whole thing. Underneath the whole thing right here. It's gonna be tough. Let's see. It catches the whole bottom of it. Boom. So now it has pressure on both sides of the bulb right here. This side and that side. So nice and stiff. So the next thing you're gonna want are, for each side, you're gonna need 2 wires, 2 of these male ends, 1 female, and 1 O-ring, I guess you can call it. So
What is the O-ring for?
I'll show you in a second. So with the wire, if you have a wire stripper, that makes it a lot easier, but I burn it. I burn the ends off. Pull it right out. Alright. Twist. Twist. And on these yellow ones, they're pretty wide open, so I fold them and put it in. Grab me those pliers. crimp it on. One side done. Hold it. Put it on. And crimp it. This is going to be our negative. So, to answer your question, how we're gonna ground this base, since this doesn't have the ground already poking out for that double, the base is used as the ground. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make the base, we're gonna ground the base. So I'm gonna remove this screw here, which touches the base on both sides. So when I release this screw, all I gotta do is put my ground, this circle part right there, and then screw this back in. So now the base of this is going to be grounded when I plug this end in to the ground portion of the plug. So now let's do the power portion of the plug. I'm gonna let the video continue so you can see how long it's actually just gonna take me to do this one side. Doesn't take long. Twist.
Very quick.
Twist. Crimp it. Done. So this female end, we're gonna get plugged in to the bottom of our H1 like that. So now we got this connected to our power of the H1. This is the power of our H1. This is the negative of our H1. So back to our dual plug. So obviously blue is going to be positive, black is going to be negative. So we connect our negative to our negative, our positive to our positive. I'm gonna tape this because I already know it's gonna work. This is so it doesn't vibrate out. Keeps the plugs in place. Tape is twisting. Go. Feed this through as much as I could, and then we close her up. Now our H1 bulbs should work H7 setup.
Post photos later.
So what we're gonna have to do is, this is pretty much done. So we're gonna end up cutting to the nighttime so that you can see the lights better at night. I wish I would have done that before, but I'm pretty sure if you had factory bulbs, you know how yellow and dim they are. And that is set. So take the box your LEDs came in. Don't touch the bulb, because the acid from your fingers will make them prematurely burst. It'll make the bulb overheat and pop.
Good to know.
That's why you don't touch the bulb, because the greases on your finger transfers onto the bulb and it makes the bulb overheat, and that's why they blow early. So you take these, throw them in your glove compartment as backup, and then call it a day. So next clip is nighttime. Well, the car doesn't let them turn on because apparently you need some sort of additional resistor type deal for LEDs, but even when it did turn on, it wasn't bright enough. So there you have it. They wired, they work, but they're not bright enough. So apparently the H1 bulbs I used were for fog lights, which is why they weren't bright enough. I believe they were 15 watts, and what's required for the headlights are 55 watts minimum. So looks like I'm gonna have to order some new ones anyways, as well as those resistors that you're supposed to have, I guess, because we're fortunate enough to have a car that requires you to have some sort of resistor if you're using LED lights for your headlights to work, because if you just use the LEDs without them, not only will it not turn on your headlights, you'll get a message displayed on your screen near the steering wheel. But yeah, the wiring worked out. If you can get those resistors, which I believe I already have some along with other LEDs, but those that I bought are for the factory headlights, and the headlights that I got on the car now are aftermarket. So I guess in the next video I make on these headlights, whether it's the next video coming up or 3 videos from now, I'll just show you guys what those resistor things look like, unless you guys really need to know before then, but that'll be in the videos to come. Thank you for watching. Peace.